Hello everybody, my name is Nasty with Nasty Gaming here, and today I'm going to give a brief tutorial on how to gear a physical / exploding palm monk for T6 Torment. And as you can see here, I'm on my monk, so let's go ahead and go over the gear real quick. As of course, for this build, the Exploding Palm Fist weapon, the Fist of Astras, is the best weapon for this build. You can go without it if you do not have it yet, but the extra exploding damage that it gives is a lot better than just the flat Exploding Palm rune. My weapon gives a 95% maximum life when it explodes, so if Torment 6 elites have 500 million health, it will explode for 95% of the 500 million health that the T6 mobs have. It's a really good thing to have. I have the Royal Ring of Grandeur, so my set bonuses are reduced by 1. And then I also have reduced cooldowns by 8%, so I get better cooldown reduction. The St. Archie's Gauge gloves, which when 5 enemies are within 12 yards of me, I get a shield that's 25% of my maximum life for 6 seconds. And during that time, whenever you're shielded, if you took damage before then, it will help you regen the life back while also shielding you for whatever your maximum life is. So my maximum life is 756 right now, so you take 25% of that, and that's my overall shield. I have the 2-piece all guild set so that I can get reduced damage by 7% from melee and ranged, and a 15% increase to damage to elites and reduction from elites. I have the 3-piece Innis set here so that I can get all 4 mantras, as you see here on the bottom. I rolled okay on these. I got resistances on my belt. I didn't get any on my chest. I got the 160 poison resist. I'd rather have all resist instead. I socketed it with more resistances so I can be more tanky. And then I put a % life gem in my helm. I have the Halcyon Ascent, or the Dead Mow necklace. It has 18% physical, 10% reduced damage from elites, 12% to elite damage, and 7% cooldown reduction. I actually got this on a Witch Doctor, so it has a bad secondary there. I have a Stone of Jordan that actually rolled Crusader rolls on it, so it gave me strength as opposed to dex, which is okay, because strength gives me toughness, so that's fine. I rolled 18% physical and 30% elite damage. And then I have a Sunkeeper with 25% elite damage, and then as you can see, I have 2 diamonds in my gear, or my weapons, as opposed to 2 emeralds. That's because for this build, you want to stack as much damage to elites as you can, and so 250 critical hit damage is not equal to 38% elite damage for an EP tank monk. And then as you can see, I got 140k damage. Damage does not matter at all for this build, because all you're going to be doing is putting an Exploding Palm up, so you don't need damage. You want to aim for about 16 to 20 mil toughness or so if you're going to run a dual wielding spec. If you have a shield, you want to shoot for about 30 million. And then for damages, I have a 130% increased damage to elites, so whenever my Exploding Palm goes off, it factors in my physical damage, which is about 60%, and the 130% elite damage, plus the 95% of the explosion from the fist weapon. So with elite packs having up to 1.5 billion on health, it will explode for about 4 billion, killing everything around it. I have 46.7% cooldown reduction, so that my cooldowns are halved mostly. I got 1229 resistances here, and then I have 278 maximum spirit, so I can efficiently put Exploding Palm on multiple targets and not just 1 or 2. And then I have a 10% spirit cost reduction, making Exploding Palm cost 30 as opposed to 40. So let's go ahead and go over the skills here for this spec. If you're going to want Exploding Palm with strong spirit, and the reason why I put this one on here is that every time an enemy explodes from Exploding Palm or gets hit by the blast, I get 10 spirit for every mob killed. You can run the Flesh is Weak for the extra damage if your group is slow at killing mobs on high torments, and you can change out something else for a spirit regenerator. But since my group clears efficiently in about 7 minutes per every T6 rift, I can use this one and stay max spirit most of the time. For my secondary, I use Inner Sanctuary with the Forbidden Palace rune so that I can give my group a 55% damage reduction when they're standing inside the rune, and then enemies inside the rune take 30% increased damage and have their movement speed slowed by 80%. So that's really good whenever you clump them in, and then they can't leave, basically. I use Cyclone Strike with Implosion so that I have a 34-yard range on pulls as opposed to a 16, I think it is. And then it just allows me to pull things in from farther distances and get a bigger group going for more explosions on Exploding Palm. For Epiphany, I use the Soothing Mist rune that gives me 20 spirit per second. And then I also am able to heal my group based off of my Healing Glow bonus. So you want to aim for about 20 to 25 to 30,000 on your Healing Glow bonus, so that it'll heal your group more efficiently. I have a Dashing Strike with Quicksilver, so I get 3 charges as opposed to 2. And then I have the Mantra of Conviction with the Annihilation rune, so that the passive gives everybody on my party a 10% increased damage, and then the active gives another 20% on top of that. And then every enemy killed within that's touched by the mantra gives us a 30% movement speed increase for 3 seconds. For my passives, I run Exalted Souls, so I get 100 increased spirits and 2% and 2 spirit per second. I have 1 with everything, so all my resistances are equaled out based on my highest resistance. So for this one, you want to stack 1 resistance as high as you possibly can, so you can go physical, lightning, poison, arcane, whatever. Just as long as 1 of those is maxed out as high as it can go, all your resistances will be the same. I use Guiding Light so that when I shield or heal people in my party, they have the ability to get up to 30% increased damage for 10 seconds. Basically, during the Epiphany, which is 15 seconds that it's on, you are giving your party a 30% increased damage, or up to that much, for 15 seconds that lasts for 10 seconds. So if your Epiphany runs off, they will still keep the up to 30% maximum damage for the 10-second duration. And then you're going to use Beacon of Yeetar for another 20% cooldown reduction. This build is all based around Exploding Palm. You are basically going to do nothing but put Exploding Palm on everything and give your group super buffs. You're going to give them, 10% base from your Annihilation rune, and then 20% on the passive when you use it. And then mobs inside your Inner Sanctuary are going to take 30% increased damage, and then your Epiphany is going to heal your group and give them another maximum 30% increased damage on top of that. So your group already with Inner Sanctuary down is going to be running at about 60 to 90% increased damage on all things around them. I will upload more videos with gameplay. I just wanted to give this quick tutorial to kind of get things started here, to kind of show that monks can do high torments even though it's not solo play, but group play. Tank monks are highly sought after, especially really geared ones that are able to help groups clear efficiently. So I hope this information I gave you guys is very helpful today. I will put my stream link in the bottom in the description, because I also stream all the runs I do every night after I start playing games. So I'll put that in the description below, and any information about the build or an armory link to my character so people can look at it. And then also, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the comment section. Like the video if you thought this was very helpful for you guys, and hopefully this will get you guys started on efficiently gearing a tank / support monk for high torments T5, T6. Thank you all for watching. Have a great night.